Anime is coming back with a bang this summer, and the best way to watch it is with the OG streaming service Crunchyroll. God of High School, ReZero Season 2, Fire Force Season 2, and new Sword Art Online episodes are coming to Crunchyroll this summer and will be streaming in beautiful high definition on all your devices. Try Crunchyroll Premium right now for free with the link down below, crunchyroll.com/geekdom. Try it out and don't miss a single episode of all the new anime coming out. Plus, classic favorites from the past are still available on Crunchyroll. Hours and hours of anime at your disposal. Try it out. The Snyder Cut of Justice League. We finally got the full-length trailer for the upcoming film series, because Zack Snyder confirmed in DC Fandome that indeed it will be 4 one-hour parts, not 1 4-hour movie coming to HBO Max. Now, initially that is a great idea because watching and sitting through a 4-hour movie is tough. It really is tough, and there are very few films that are that long that are actually watchable. There's a few, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's difficult to sit down in one space for 4 hours. But if you have 4 one-hour films or mini series, whatever, it gives you a chance to, you know, spread out the releases. They put out part 1, then wait a week, part 2. You know, it builds anticipation, right? Which I think is very important when it comes to this kind of stuff. And it allows people to kind of get together with their families. Because if you're watching the movie with a kid or whatever, with like a teenager, 4 hours, like I said, is a long time. But just 1 hour a week is much better than 4 hours one week. So, to me, this is a good idea. Now, like I've said before, after seeing this trailer now, I do feel a bit more confident about the film. Even though, like I said before, I am not a big Zack Snyder fan. I think that Zack Snyder is talented when it comes to composing shots. I think that he's a super nice guy. He comes off like a dude who would be great to just chill with, have a beer with, you know, talk about movies and comic books and whatnot. Really nice guy, and I feel for the dude about what happened to his daughter. That's just, you know, I have heard in the past that I don't have a child, so I've never had a child die, but I've heard that a parent losing a child is the most painful thing that a human being can endure. And I do feel like the Justice League Snyder Cut is a coping mechanism for him. I do think that this is something the man is really invested in. He's editing the movie from home. He's very excited about it. And I think that this whole process of him putting the film together, talking to fans, interacting with them, doing interviews, talking about how excited he was to put out this movie is very therapeutic for the guy. And even though I personally don't like some of his other movies, I do respect him because he has a vision. He actually had a vision, not just for this Justice League film, but also for movies beyond Justice League, which we're going to talk about here because Darkseid is in this trailer. And as I've said before, and I did talk about this a couple weeks ago when I did the video about the ending of the Snyder Cut, this is going to be a setup for a sequel. And I think if these movies do well, which I think they will, if these 4 one-hour mini movies do well, then I feel like it's going to it's going to lead to a sequel that Snyder will probably write and direct with or without Chris Terrio, because there's so many things in this film that are left open and so many ideas that Snyder had for his verse that he might not have ever been able to put together if it wasn't for the fan community. So I do think that Zack Snyder will be coming back to do the Snyder Cut. Beyond the Snyder Cut, I think that if it does well, we will see a sequel with Darkseid actually being the villain. I think it's going to be a serious thing. And of course, Lex Luthor. He's in the trailer. He looks great. Steppenwolf, yo. This version of Steppenwolf, holy crap. Like, dude, this version of Steppenwolf looks scarier, more menacing, more badass. Steppenwolf was garbage in the Joss Whedon version. And I'm not sure if it was his fault, but he just came off like slightly better version of Motaro from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Remember that terrible movie? That's how he kind of came off. And in this version, he actually looks legitimately scary in a good way. There's a lot of scenes in this trailer that we had kind of known about or that were brought back in from the older trailers of the Justice League film that came out 3-4 years ago. Like, for example, Ezra Miller's Flash in the restaurant or whatever, saving the girl. A lot of the Cyborg stuff. You know, in interviews, Snyder has talked about how Cyborg is the heart of the film. Ray Fisher's Cyborg is the heart of the film. And I feel like that tells me that there was so much cut. Because, dude, the heart of the film. Have you seen the theatrical cut of Justice League? He's barely even in it. And there's a whole backstory with his dad and him being a football player. All this stuff that was totally just chopped out of the theatrical that's going to get put back in. And so I'm very curious about how Cyborg will actually be the heart of the film. The scene where Aquaman in this trailer like dissipates into the water, it looks freaking incredible. Like the fact that Snyder is able to actually edit this film from home with like visual effects supervisors and CGI people at his disposal to help him out. It's all being done remotely. It's just a crazy, crazy sort of situation. And it makes me wonder if in the future more films will be edited like this. I think they will. I think that, I don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic, but I feel like in the future there will be more movies cut like this because now we have the technology to have home computers. We've had it for a while, but now we can actually really edit and create high quality films at home with the right software and hardware, and I think he's doing that, and I think DC's helping him with that. And again, this project is very personal to him. You can tell when he talks to the fans in his interviews, this is like something that he's really excited about. And whether you like Snyder or not, this movie might be garbage. I mean, let's be real, it might not be any good. I do think it'll be better than the theatrical. Let's be real, it might not be any good, but I think the fact that he's able to actually work on it and finish and then work on another project later on, if it does well, I really am happy for the guy, genuinely, because what happened to him, nobody deserves. That's the way I feel. I really love that scene at the end of the trailer with Ezra Miller where he's like, this guy's fought all these demons and these super powered characters and all that. Well, how can we beat him or whatever? And then Batman's like, I don't give a damn how many demons he's fought. He's never faced us together. That was freaking awesome, dude. Then the scene with, like, all the Justice League next to each other, bro, that awesome shot. Like, again, Snyder's a talented filmmaker when it comes to putting together these epic shots, dude. I mean, look at Man of Steel. There's so many great shots in that film. Like, there's story problems and things like that, but the movie's, very well shot. I don't like his gloomy style, but I think for Justice League, I'm okay with it because there's going to be so much, it's going to be such a dark movie, and I'm fine with it. Like, it doesn't really bother me for this film. And like I said, I'm happy he gets to make his movie. Some of the evil Superman shots here looked great. The scene of like sort of Diane doing her research and stuff like that was kind of cool. Again, stuff that we have already seen. It's not all of it, but a lot of it we saw in early trailers getting recut and put back into the film. And yeah, Darkseid. I mean, shit, he's coming. And in the sequel, not in this one. He's only in a cameo in this film. There's like a scene of Martha Kent. And with Martha Kent and Lois Lane that I thought was really, really like, man, what's happening there? You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I'm looking at it, right? And then, of course, when Superman comes back to life and he's holding them in the field, like, really powerful stuff, dude. Like, I never thought I would say this, but I'm pretty excited for this film. Like, I never thought I would say it because I never thought it would happen. And Zack Snyder's not my favorite filmmaker, but I really am curious. Like, I'm very curious about where this is going to go and what's going to be put back in. And it's going to be more than just a director's cut. I think it's going to be like a totally different film. I mean, there's a lot of stuff with Cyborg and with Flash developing those characters. Maybe even more with Aquaman. I'm sure there is. I mean, remember, the original theatrical was 2 hours and they added some stuff. This is like 4 hours of what they shot originally. So it's going to be a more well, I can't say that for sure, but it's probably going to be a more cohesive movie. And it looks great. I mean, the special effects shots, for a lot of them being done from home, I think look fine. Like, it's no complaints from me. So, but it's not even finished yet. There's still more stuff to be done, and we'll see what happens there. Anyways, what did you think about the Snyder Cut trailer that happened at DC Fandome? And 2021 is when we're getting it. So, I don't have HBO Max, but I think I will probably pick it up just to watch this because I do want to see it, and I will be doing reviews on the Snyder Cut here on the channel when it comes out. So thank you. Have a nice day. We'll talk soon.